If someone wants to be a photographer today, what would like your advice be?
Don't be.
Really?
There's always a sense of immense respect, and I've always believed, and I've said that multiple times, that I think women are far and away, it's not even a contest, the superior gender. Men should be very grateful that there are women in this universe.
If your mom had to describe you, what would she say you are?
World's best son.
Really? If there was a reality show about your life, what would it be called?
Organized chaos.
You're like an influencer now, right? Do you even like that word?
No, whatever. There's a 36 ka akada happening between two other people in your caught in the crossfire.
What is that? Chattis?
36 ka akada.
Okay.
You come to Bombay, you speak Marathi.
Kakra is that Gujarati thing, na?
Never
Huh?
mind. I'm sending you a book, Hindi Made Simple.
Yeah, okay. Modeling will always be my first love. It's the world I practically grew up in. A chaotic, dazzling universe took a chance on a shy 16-year-old Shubra and in many ways shaped her into who I am today. It's the place where I feel most confident, at ease, and very powerful. I have evolved since then, explored newer territories, new ideas, and the thrill of doing that is something else. But if you call me for a show or a shoot, in a flash, I'm ready. The energy, the euphoria, the lights going on and off, it will always feel like home. When it comes to fashion, my guest on today's show needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. From photographing some of the biggest stars of the country, planning elaborate campaigns, to producing socially impactful film, he's always ahead of his game. The OG influencer before influencing was even a thing. And what I love about him is that he's constantly hustling and reinventing himself. In spite of all those accolades, he has this charm, a certain groundedness about him. And what I love about him is that he says it the way it is. No bullshit. There's another thing that you guys don't know, that I call him Mr. Funny Bones because honestly, I think he's one of the funniest guys in the business. I'm excited about this conversation, and without further ado, I would like to introduce you to my friend, Atul Kasbekar. Hi, Atul. I'm so happy you're on my show.
Hello, Shubra. Very nice to be here. I should carry you around, like in Game of Thrones, when Daenerys walks in, Queen of the North, so is the, Lord of the First Men, whatever it is. That was one heck of an intro. Thank you.
Thanks, man. He's actually taking my case, guys, because I was struggling with my intro. But that's okay. That's okay. We're all good.
Nothing that Take 25 can't solve.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's fine. The funny bones part of it, I'm serious about that, guys. He's just cracking jokes. But anyway, you started as a photographer, right? And very early on, you realized that just being one thing is very limiting. Like, how did you have that foresight?
When I first came in, I looked at the market ahead. And I say this with no arrogance or humility whatsoever, just plain fact. And I was pretty sure that I would do well. When I came back from the US, I studied photography there, and I came back and I started, work started to pour in, which was great. And then I said, if there'll be some snot-nosed 25-year-old who will look at you and say exactly the same thing that you said when you walked in, and I'm going to wipe that old man's face with my work. So I think it's important that to not sit on any kind of laurels or past glory or anything, and be like an electron, constantly in motion. Try and figure out what next and be a little ahead of the curve, so on.
Nice. You were also doing this at a time when not too many people were doing this. Like now, at least because of the world of social media, we're like, okay, trying different things. So kudos to you to have that kind of foresight.
I think it's a bit arrogant to think that you'll last forever. You know what I mean? So, so you have to have that plain common sense to understand that, and also please understand that photography eventually is a young man's job. Big lawyers will fight cases when they're 75 and will be looked up to for their wisdom. And similarly with, let's say, people in the medical profession. So there was a deep sense of awareness from the beginning that this is eventually, to whatever extent, a young man's job. And it's very, very difficult, at least in this country, where, that you could be, let's say, shooting something big at 70. Won't happen. but it'll happen to other professionals, like I mentioned, doctors, lawyers, and so on, architects, who could still be doing some path-breaking work and be getting a lot of work. The phone will be ringing for them.
Right. Talking about doing other things, you were actually one of the first to understand the power of talent management in India, right? Like, what was that gap that you saw that nobody else was seeing at that time?
So I trained for a year with a bunch of photographers in Los Angeles, and they only did photography. Okay, there was an agent and there was a manager, and the manager managed their life, and the agent got them work. The agent went to the agencies, pitched their work, got them the jobs, entertained the art directors when they came down to LA, so on and so forth. The photographer did photography. So when I came here, I said, let me get an agent. And there was absolutely no concept of that whatsoever. And I honestly think that no creative person should be speaking their own business. It's silly.
Yeah.
And it's myopic, to think that if you have a good agent, you'll always make more money. I'll tell you a great story. I was working with a guy called Dennis Gray, and he had this agent who was quite famous mostly because she was hot, called Mani Hall. I mean, at 30 some years later, I still remember.
That
her.
always helps, right?
Yeah. And she was this California blonde, drove a Saab 900, 9000, whatever, top down. And when she walked in, everybody was, but she didn't know I existed, okay, to be fair, because I was the cockroach in the corner, mopping floors or something. But I got him to the Brooks Institute of Photography to give a lecture. And during the Q&A, one bright spark puts his hand up and says, Dennis, how much did you pay Mani Hall last year? And the commission is 20%. So the moderator's like, there'll be no financial questions. So he said, no, I'm happy to answer that. And he said, I paid her $250,000. So even Americans who are inherently bad at math figured that Dennis had grossed 1.25 million because he must have paid Mani 20% and, whatever, $250,000. This guy, not to be outdone, says, did it piss you off that you paid Mani $250,000? He says, that's actually a better question.
Okay.
He says, next year, if I don't write her a check for $500,000, that would piss me off.
Nice.
You see? So I like the whole attitude is that we grow together and, and then you make money, I make money, you make me money, you make money, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Actually, that's the best way to work, right? Like, yeah.
And, the agent should delight in the fact that this star of mine, or athlete of mine, whatever, has a fleet of fancy cars.
Right.
And the client in question should be delighted that, this guy has a home and is sending his kids to a great school and has a nice Mercedes.
Right. Yeah. No, but great. That was a very good agency you had.
Thank you.
Yeah. You had like a lot of big names in it, I remember.
Yeah, it was fun. But, ever since I started producing movies, it becomes a very serious conflict of interest. So for me,
Actually, yeah.
yeah, and I mean, you can't sit at the table negotiating for your star with yourself.
Right.
One hat you're wearing requires you to, get the best deal possible in the least days number possible, right? And the other hat requires you to do the exact opposite. So no matter what you do, the studio will think that you could have got this person for $10 less, and the star will think I could have got $10 more because it's your movie.
Yeah.
Can't win.
Right. Okay, makes sense. Do you think, also because of the social media world, right? Do you feel like photographers are building like a legacy today, or are we like in a moment of short-term attention? What do you
I think the whole universe is in a state of short-term attention, by and large.
sadly?
Keep reading stats about how people tend to scroll
Yeah.
from Instagram Reels in less than 5 seconds. You have to arrest them in 5 seconds.
So frustrating that is. My team's always like, when I give them like a 30-second reel, they're like, it's too long. I'm like, what the hell, 30 seconds? They're like, keep it below 20. It's pretty sad.
I don't know. I think, I'm a information junkie. So in the topics that I'm interested in, whatever they are, I want to go deeper and deeper, and know. So I'll watch and read. I actually remain a voracious reader, except not so much with books. It's more like scripts and what comes on my screens.
Right. Okay.
But I read insane amounts. So
Right. But if someone wants to be a photographer today, what would like your advice be?
don't be.
Really?
Yeah, I would recommend that you, and I'm not saying this with anything. Look, if you're a prodigal talent, okay, you'll do okay, anywhere in the world, right? But a lot of people are not prodigal talents, and then, you have to make a living. I would recommend, however, that you also do or primarily do video, because I think video is forever.
That's what your son's doing, right?
He is, but he wants to be more of a director.
Okay.
So, and he's in LA with 2 friends running a company.
Right,
They're doing
yeah.
really well. Touch wood.
Yeah, I
Which
know.
is the good part is I'm not paying anymore in US dollars,
Yeah.
which is great.
Right, right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think anyone wanting advice, and if you're only going to do stills, I guarantee you will be in trouble.
Also have a plan B, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, there's different views to this. You could be earth-shakingly fantastic at this, but Plan B can always be a trust fund.
True. Yeah, but not everyone gets lucky.
Papa ne 50 crore rakhe honge. Don't worry.
Hey, true, true. See, the one thing I know about you is that you're always there for your friends and like your support system's really good, right? And you stood by Vijay Mallya when like the world was quick to walk away, and that loyalty is really rare. And how come you stood your ground when the whole world had changed their narrative?
Look, it's like this. First of all, was a friend, remains a friend. Okay. 2 is I'm neither his lawyer nor his accountant, so I have no clue about what has gone down. I don't know, to be honest, how many people actually do, right? And third and most important is that he's been a fantastic client. Okay, I mean, to trace the history of the Kingfisher calendar, I only knew him socially. I had an idea that there's a space for a Pirelli meets Sports Illustrated swimsuit calendar. Sports Illustrated you can just buy off the rack anywhere, and Pirelli you can't get. It's really sent from the desk of the chairman. So I said we'll combine the two and do a swimsuit calendar which can only be acquired from the desk of the chairman. And it clicked. They've been unbelievably incredible clients. It was a great run, and I have absolutely no reason to complain. He's been a fantastic friend. He's in general a very generous host, as like a lot of people will say, and will also attest to. And all in all, I hope this sorts itself out, and because I think apart from anything else, I think there was some serious brand building that has happened that has put India on the map in a lot of good ways.
100%.
And which I think he had the power and the vision to do. I mean, what he's done with the UB Group and with USL's, if I'm not mistaken, was it Bagpiper, which is the largest selling whiskey in the world. I think last I heard it was some 36 million cases. That's insane.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's amazing, because not too many people had that kind of thing. Like people who were friends with him also, I know, like just like
No,
shoulder back to
I know
him.
the cool thing about him is he's a very staunch nationalist in the good sense of the word. Okay, so we were shooting in the south of France, and his yacht was there, and then early in the morning in Monaco Harbor, he says, "Okay, play the national anthem." And suddenly,
In Monaco. Yeah.
in Monaco, you're hearing the national anthem playing off the loudspeakers.
That's
and the entire white crew and everybody else, is standing in attention. I'm like, goosebumps, baby. This is nice. Yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's cool. Nice. Okay. Let's talk about your fitness now. Like when you entered, everyone in my room's like, he looks 45. And I know age is just a number, but it is not easy to look the way you do at 60. That's really impressive. And I think you've had a really nice transformative journey. It's like from lean to strong, gym to yoga. What was the catalyst?
Vanity. And I think I'm too cheap to buy new clothes. So the same pants, I mean, I've got new pants since, but effectively I've been fitting to the same pants for 30 years.
Fab.
So, no, I think, look, I've honestly never really thought about it per se. Okay. I've always been a moderately decent sportsman in school, college, always played sports. and went to the gym like everybody else and so on. So my theory looking back is, if you were, let's say, doing 50 push-ups, 10 pull-ups and 100 squats and sit-ups from age 16 onwards, and you did it every day, why would you not be able to do it at 20, at then 25 and 30 and 35 and whatever? The key word is consistency. And I
Right.
think it's just important to pay homage to your body for a certain amount of time a day,
Right.
And
Yeah, you make it seem easy. It's not that easy, because I feel like in the 20s, I could get away by eating anything under the sun. But like in the 30s, like it shows, right? And then there's a lot more workout that goes into it. So,
look, what I discovered last year, and some of these things are cosmic. A friend of mine was harrowing me to come in for a physical because they'd opened a new lab, not because he thought I looked sick. He said, "We've opened this new place called Noora, please come in,"
Yeah.
whatever. So I said, okay, Then I didn't go. He called two, three, 4 times. And finally I said, okay, fine, I'll make him happy, I'll go. Really nice place.
Yeah.
I go there and I get examined on a DEXA machine, and I discover, and if you look at me, you'd absolutely never guess it, right? There's 2 kinds of fat. There's visceral fat, which is the fat surrounding your organs,
Yeah.
which you don't see, unless on a DEXA scan or similar. And there's something, then your subcutaneous fat, which is your skin fat, right? My subcutaneous fat was okay, and my visceral fat was 1 step below critical.
what? Okay.
Yeah, really. And I'm like, wait.
And your weight was just.
Yeah, I mean, it was, it was all right. Maybe slightly overweight, but, overweight isn't more muscle over
Got it.
anything else. But from no angle would anyone at any point in my life would say, you look even remotely, can you say fat anymore? Or it's like,
I know.
Start.
Even yeah, actually. And healthy.
healthy hai mera bachcha. So he said 1 step below critical. He said, you're a walking stroke. I'm like, wait, what? Then I go to my doctor, and he is very obese. So he's in no position to give me advice on what to do. Okay. So I started looking up a lot of stuff on the internet, and then just went into self kind of figure out what to do.
Researching, huh?
And then 1 year later, I called them and said, I want to come back for a test. And it's now a shade over normal. 100 is normal. I was 105. And the really good thing is, in the process, I dropped 11% body fat. So my body fat's about 15% now.
So what did you do? Change in diet, change in workout? What happened?
I got extremely regimented with what I eat when I eat. I started watching my macros, protein, fiber, fat, and carbohydrates. So I started monitoring that very assiduously, and then hit a certain protein mark every day without fail, no matter what,
Okay.
And then I resumed weight training, which I stopped because weight training shortens your muscles and yoga lengthens your muscles. Right. So I resumed weight training with my yoga, and but it's nutrition. You cannot out exercise a bad diet. I know enough people who run half marathons, have run full marathon, and have a paunch.
I agree with you. I keep saying it's 80% diet and 20% workout.
And please, one of the few gifts I have in life is that I tend to make best friends with chefs and restaurateurs.
I will.
Like literally in 10 minutes, anywhere in the world. So I assure you, I hate the word diet,
Same.
So because people think that, yaar, wo boiled food khata hoga, nothing in this one. Please, I eat better than you.
Yeah.
I promise. Okay. It's just not a lot of it.
Right.
So I usually stay at about 1600 calories a day, no more. Made my metabolism way more active, and and it's a process.
It's all showing.
It's a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah. Nice.
I've been actually getting calls by corporates to do lectures for real people, for fitness for real people. So I've done like three, 4 of them, which is great fun because I'm talking to people like me. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm like you. I enjoy a drink. I have a great social life. I go out to eat a lot, and and my metabolic age is -17. So
In your head.
no, I
Oh,
tested.
true. Okay.
Yeah, 43, 44 in that.
Okay, that's impressive. Okay, that's cool. I think for me, the word is balance, right? Like, I don't like anything extreme. It's like, I like my alcohol, I like my food too, but like,
We've seen the videos. We've got receipts.
I'm going to take you off my close friends now. But when I look at your posts, right, especially the yoga ones, just like there's this like stillness and discipline that I see, right? Like you feel like there's been a spiritual element that's come along the way because you're like the new yogi. Seriously.
I genuinely enjoy it.
You like it.
I love it. There's
Properly showing off also
There's
on
a,
Instagram.
I have a great
So, yeah.
trainer who seems to know that my limits are more than I think they are. So, and he's from Rishikesh, from the Rishikesh school of yoga, and he's like, "नहीं हो जाएगा सर, push करते हैं, breathing करो, you know." And I'm like, "Wait, what did you just do?" I'm in a forward bend, and my head is my chin is managed to touch my knees, and I'm holding one brick beyond my feet, and I'm very impressed with myself. And then he climbs on top of my back and does a bakasana,
Yeah.
crow pose. So, whatever.
So no spiritual element. What do you feel?
I have discovered Pandit Bhimsen Joshi.
Okay.
So we have Bhimsen Joshi ji's abhangs and assorted music playing at the time. And
Really?
it's wonderful, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So there's a certain stillness and I think something, you know, you discover things and like sometimes much later, mercifully, but you discover them. So you know, I enjoy Indian classical. I don't know anything about it. You ask me technical details, I can't answer anything. But I just love how it sounds now to me now. Which, you know, when you're in school and college, you thought it was uncool, you know, to listen to stuff like that. I love it now.
So that kind of enhances your practice, you feel also.
Because, you know, there's no fog, there's no nothing. It's just
Yeah. Zen mode.
Zen monk vibes.
Nice. What's that one thing you feel like no one tells you about aging, but you've learned it the hard way?
I think the secret to longevity is muscle. You cannot lose your muscle. So I've honestly read up a hell of a lot now, and I think that's very crucial. You know, if you are muscled, and I don't mean you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, although that took a lot of effort, but that's not my kind of
Aesthetic then.
yeah, aesthetic. But you know, if you work at retaining it, a lot of good things will happen. Like, for example, your recovery from injury is unbelievably quick. That's if you get injured at all. You know.
Exactly.
So true fitness is a function of flexibility in whatever order, flexibility, endurance, and strength. So you can't look like the side of a house, but you can't touch your toes and you can't run 2 kilometers.
Yeah.
And the other way around. I know people who run a lot and can't do 10 push-ups.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. That's
So,
balance.
so also you have to do that, and it's just a question of being consistent. So I'm so used to it now, it's just clockwork in the morning. So I've become much more a creature of incredible routine, especially when it comes to my nutrition. That's a game changer.
That is right.
100 grams of protein a day, come what may.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay, now we'll move into the other hat that you wear. You being a producer, right? You've backed films like Nija, Tumhari Sullo and stuff, which I think is not your, like, it's not the blockbuster films. It's a different story that it did turn out to be like the biggest blockbusters. What drew you to these kind of stories?
I just felt there were stories that needed to be told. And the question I'd ask myself is, would I go to the theater to watch it? You know, kind of thing. Sometimes they related to me in strange ways. I read a story about this grandmother in Chandigarh who was with a very loving family, and her husband had passed away. She was like 85, 90, and they had a huge celebration for her. And her granddaughter asked her, you know, is there anything that you feel you should have done in your life and you hadn't? And she thought for a second and she said, I believe I never made any money on my own. I didn't need money because my husband provided enough and my sons had taken great care of me, etc., etc. But I never made my money. So the granddaughter decided that we should fix this. So she used to apparently make great barfi, you know. So at the market, like the, you know, people have these small shops that for a Sunday market kind of thing. So, oh, Dadi ki barfi kind of thing, they started. So I don't know the name, I've just made it up, but you know, and it was wiped out,
Okay.
you know. And I think it was on her 80th birthday. Next thing you know is that she was taking orders. She had hired 2-3 more people and they were making barfi left, right and center. Her secret magical recipe. I think that's such a wonderful story.
Fab.
So when I read the script that Suresh Triveni had brought for, you know, and he had Vidya Balan in mind, and we had Vidya Balan in mind, to me, the throwback was this lady.
Okay.
And I also extrapolated that to my mum.
Right.
Because that would be her refrain. I should have done this, I should have done that, and I never did that. Not that I need any money, but would have been nice to have made my own. So I could relate at some level, and that struck a chord, and hence we backed it. So it's a bit warped, but it worked. So
Nice. So, how do you choose what you say yes to now? People, project, film. Like, what's your gut check like?
So I think what's happened now is, if I were to, in fairness, if we had to make a film like Sulu now, I don't think it would have done the numbers that it did in 2017, 2018. The whole universe has changed in 6 years. And frankly, nobody knows what is going to click in the theatre. I'm very happy, for example, at this recording, Sayara is doing great numbers. I'm very happy when any movie, makes money, because it just helps the industry. But I'm willing to wager a bet that even in a best case scenario, I don't think Yashraj would have thought that Adi Chopra has probably forgotten more about movie making than people like me or anyone else will know in their lifetimes. He's been weaned in it. He's a genius about things like. But and there have been so many other films that have not recovered half the cost of its production.
It's so sad.
So I don't think anyone knows what is going to work in a theater. And that's the key to it. So it's a long, complicated conversation. But whatever we've put out, are working on now is designed, at least in our heads, that ये पिक्चर देखने के लिए लोग टिकटें खरीदने की.
Still gaslight them into believing that. Yeah. But do you feel like India is in a stage to take more risks in terms of like storytelling and stuff? You think it's a good time for that?
So I think we went through that phase. Look at it this way. You make a film like, let's say, Neerja, for example. Okay. Sona by that time wasn't known, as a star who could hold a solo lead film, right? There was no real love interest. I dragged my friend Shekhar Afjani for a cameo in that. There were no songs really to market it with. And going into the movie, that she's going to die in the end.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And when we pitched it first to a director, he said, "Why will anyone buy a ticket for this?" I said, "Why, sir?" So he said, "Because she's going to die." So I said, "But by that logic, Bhagat Singh should never be made." As well, it's a great story. And he's going to be sent to the gallows at the end of the film. So, and Milkha will not win that race. So, so anyway, then I called my old friend Ram Madhwani, and good things happened. I was in the US when the Pan American airline plane was hijacked and was in Karachi. So we were listening on the news because, a lot of Indian passengers now in Pakistan, American carrier. So there was a lot of information. And then the worst number of fatalities in airline hijacking history. Okay. So the story had stayed with me. So when we came across the 7-pager, we said, let's back it, and take it from there. So
nice. Good job on that.
thank you. Throughout that film is really odd. I don't mean to sound spooky, but it hasn't happened since, but I felt like this presence, and I'll tell you specifically, over my right shoulder, not left. Like I just felt the presence. I don't know who, what, whatever. There's no theory, but I just felt a presence, and there were cataclysmic things that were going wrong. Okay, in the film. I kept telling people, yeah, I have a feeling it will sort itself out. It will sort itself out. And the number of people from the political firmament to, industrialists who came out to help. For example, I sent a note to the civil aviation minister, who I didn't really know. I said, "Sir, this is the story. We don't have the money. I need the airport to tell the story of an Ashok Chakra awardee for free. Happy to give whatever credits you want." In 2 days, we get a message saying, done. I spoke to the owner of an airline, and I said, look, we want to make this film. And he was Punjabi, so I said, Punjabi girl from Bombay, I need your aircraft, but your airline didn't exist at that time. So I can't give you, I'll be erasing the signage, but I need the plane, for a sequence where the Pakistani commandos are going to storm it. So there's a prep scene, etc. So he said, we'll work out a good deal. I said, no, the only deal I'm looking for is free. We don't have the money. We made that film in 16 crores. I still don't know how.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. That's impressive.
Yeah. I don't want to attempt that again. Because every favor I had, that was lodged in my pocket, I've used all those get out of jail free cards. So,
You've exhausted it with nature. Nice. Yeah, you got good hustle. That's why my introduction.
hustle is a good word,
It's my favorite word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has a hustle. You have to respect the hustle.
Have to.
As long as it's a decent hustle.
Yeah. When I look at your social media, I think the most endearing quality about that is the way you post about your mother. You speak a lot about like her grace, beauty, and strength, right? Is there something we don't know that you've not spoken about on social media about her?
Have I spoken that much about her?
Yeah,
I
it's
just
nice.
post nice pictures of her.
And then you say, there's something really nice you write about her. It's so nice.
No.
Because, you're this person so sorted and like you're very practical, pragmatic. And then suddenly there's this like mom thing over there, which is really nice.
Oh, I'm a softie, yaar.
I've never seen that side, but yeah, sure.
All my friends know that.
Okay.
So, but no, she's a genetic masterpiece. Honestly, she really doesn't look her age at all.
How old is she?
She's 84 this year in September. Yeah.
That's what's so good.
So she was busy dancing at my birthday party with all my school friends who she remembered, which is great. And I don't think she's done like a beauty treatment per se, where she'll use the first soap that's in front of her and the first shampoo that's in front of her, and it all looks wonderful. You're like, wow.
Wow. Nice. Do you think being raised by a woman like her, has shaped how you photograph women, view women maybe?
There's always a sense of immense respect. And I've always believed, and I've said that multiple times, that I think women are far and away, it's not even a contest, the superior gender, and by a mile. So men should be very grateful that there are women in this universe. And you should rejoice if you have a daughter, instead of saying, yeah, ladka chahiye tha. Are you insane? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's changing now. I see all the new mothers and fathers, they want to have like a girl child, which is amazing.
nice.
Yeah, me too.
For what it's worth, I spoke to my old friend Anand Mahindra some years ago, and then we started something called Proud Fathers for Daughters, which was fun.
Yeah.
And so I get a bunch of my wonderful colleagues to give a weekend every year, and we shoot only father and daughter portraits for free. So we don't charge anything.
Right.
And then people can buy the prints from Nanikali, and effectively the cost of it sends girls to school. So I think that with some, I don't know the number exactly, to hazard a guess, I think between 8 to 10,000 girls have gone to school over the years. And this year in December will be our 10th year of Proud Fathers for Daughters. That's nice.
Great. Good stuff. Nice. If your mom had to describe you, what would she say you are?
World's best son.
Really?
She's biased, yeah. So anything I do, my wife will inevitably, we'll do a little wind up with mom, and she'll say something about me that's not very complimentary, and my mom will be like, nothing doing, no way, it can't be. Atul is the world's best. So
How sweet.
yeah, so Vandana just gives up on that. So
Okay.
she'll amuse herself once in a while when she's over at lunch or something, and try it.
Okay, but all in vain. Nice.
I'm perfect.
You're perfect.
Or my mom.
Do you cry at all? You're a fellow Taurian.
Do I cry at all? I mean, in some films you would have like well up and all.
Okay, you do.
And if there's cruelty to dogs or something like that, then I'll go nuts.
Okay. So that moves you. Nice. So, okay, you're like an influencer now, right? Do you even like that word?
No, but whatever.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of people know about this, but you've been like influencing even before like influencer became like a thing, right? Like you were wearing suits of Gabbana, correct me if I'm wrong, and you've done stuff like that before. Like tell me more about it.
Akbar, who owned Kachins, had done some of my early campaigns, and then he started his own tailoring establishment doing bespoke suits called Gabbana, and he would call me every once in a while and say, and each time he talked about something Italian, he was really cute because he would get this fake Italian accent. He would say, Mr. Atul, please come over to my salon. I want to make a suit for you. So I'm like, okay. And then he'll measure me and stuff, and then he'd make the suit. I'm like, I can't afford this. He says, no, this is from me. So I'm like, why are you doing this again? And we're talking now 25 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So he's saying, no, I know you look good in my suit, so if you're wearing it at a social function and people ask you where you got that from, you will have the good grace to say, go to Akbar and Gabbana. But, oh, okay, that's easy.
That's exactly
So-
what's happening.
Yeah, I must have literally sent like a couple hundred people there.
Nice.
And I suppose most of them are happy customers.
Right.
But yeah, so things like this, yeah, it's just kind of mostly fallen into my lap. But I have a lot of kidas about a lot of things, and they are usually about. I don't like to use the word luxury, but I think some of the finer, cooler, classier things in life. Okay. And I've never looked at the right side of the menu and said, "Yaar, महंगा है तो अच्छा होगा." That's not my attitude at all. Okay. So whether it's red wine, whether it's tequila, whether it's whiskey, whether it's watches, whether it's great suits, so on, I'll have an interest and I'll go deep, and I'm not pretending to know everything about anything. Okay, it's a journey like with anything. Red wine is a journey.
Right.
You know, appreciating whiskey is a journey. Understanding sound systems is a journey.
Right.
You know, it's also a lot of money, but you know, and then I find it remarkable that a couple of people have sat in Switzerland mostly or Japan and with an eyepiece for so many hours to have these parts machining together to tell you the time accurate to 2 seconds a day. Are you nuts? You know what I mean?
That's
these
genius,
are
right?
artists,
Yeah,
you know. If there's somebody making cheese in a unique way, I mean, you know, imagine the guy who discovered whiskey saying, "Yaar, isko na main distill karta hu and then I'll leave it in that oak barrel." Why? Just. Then every year he comes and tastes it to know. And at 12-year mark, he decides this is good enough to drink.
Yeah, when you say it like that, wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, just think about it. And then the guy decides that, yeah, I'll do a course correction. Let me use a bourbon cask. And now he has to wait for 12 years to figure out if that was right now.
Crazy.
So 25 years of your life have gone figuring it out,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
What kind of
some
lunatic...
passion,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So I will see myself as an artist and I will appreciate a lot of other people in various other art forms. And I find that a personally very satisfying and ongoing journey, you know. So, I mean, cloth, let's say,
Right.
which is the best one to get for a suit? Well, then there's 20 questions you can ask. Is it in a hot climate? Is it in a cold climate? How often are you going to wear it? Is it an everyday work suit or is it an occasion suit? You know,
Nice.
you know.
And that's what you're doing with Caspi edits also.
Yeah, so
Kind of.
it's curating stuff I like. There'll be a 50-pound whiskey, which I think is outrageously good, and I would drink it any day. And at the same time, there'd be a Holy Grail whiskey, which is like a 400-pound thing, and a lot of people may not get to taste that in their lifetimes, you know. But it's all good. If you're drinking this is great stuff as well.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of brands have called, but if I don't believe in it, if I don't personally think it's good enough, I've declined routinely. So.
Right. I remember when we shot for Kingfisher in Sardinia, you actually taught us a lot about wine, cheese, and stuff. Like, I've seen that passion when it comes to the finer things.
Yeah. So whenever you're traveling next, so I get a ludicrous number of phone calls from friends. I'm going to this restaurant from, can you get me a table to what do I eat? I want to buy a watch under X amount of money or above a certain amount of money. What do I buy? Son's wedding, where do I go to, get a decent suit from? Whatever.
Right.
Just the list is endless.
Yeah.
There was a star who called me from LA at 3 in the afternoon LA time, completely oblivious of the fact that it's not 3 in the afternoon India time. Saying, Atul, you're awake? Of course I'm awake. Just waiting by the phone for you to call. I say, I'm in the store. Just talk to this guy. He'll take you to the fine mall section and just tell him which one I should get. So look, the next 45 minutes I'm on video
Wow.
of
So mindful
long
of it.
distance
Yeah.
to Los Angeles, telling the gentleman, no, give him that bottle. Give him that because he woke me up. It's much more expensive. And, so...
Okay, cool. So you're like this influencer itself. What's like the most influencer thing that you've done? You've caught yourself doing and you're like, ew. Like you've cringed.
No, not happened yet, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will not do it if I don't
I was
believe it.
hoping you say this.
Yeah. Honestly, more about credibility than anything else.
Right. Nice. Okay. So if you had to leave like a note for your younger self, what would you write to yourself?
Buy Infosys early and don't sell. because,
Yeah.
because I bought Infosys early and I sold like an ass. We made some money and we went to Thailand for holidays, spent it all.
Oh no.
And every year we make a rough calculation at what that would have been worth. If you want to hear my sob story, I bought it at 400 rupees.
You put it at 400.
1,000 shares, I still remember. And at 1,200 or something, I thought made out like a bandit. Beach those up.
I can't imagine you being that person. I feel like you're so like good with these kind of calculations. You've obviously learned.
We've all done stupid things.
Yeah.
I have, my list is long but distinguished.
Nice. You've done a lot of things. Glamour, business, movies, wellness. What's there next for you to surrender or conquer?
Retirement?
Really, I can't see you doing that. No way.
No, I actually want to be able now, I think, to pause a bit. I don't mean retire. I mean that I've had enough of this hectic kind of life, So
But you've
for-
done that because you like doing that, right?
Yeah, and I thought that was the only way you need to be, So now, for example, unless I can help it, my first meeting will be not before 11.
Okay.
Then you can continue as long as you want. And there are a lot of things that really don't require me to drive across town and suffer when we can talk on video.
I think COVID really taught us that, I think.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, just have this thing about come to office. And I get that in some jobs you need to do that. But seriously, 90% of it is on my phone. Also about 20 odd years ago, I think, which is a fair chunk of time now, I suddenly kind of was at complete peace with myself. And this, I think, is just a revelation I'm probably seeing for the first time. But, you wonder in the beginning of your career, will they call me for, let's say, the Bombay Times party or whatever, because you need to be on the list and that kind of stuff, right? At some point in time, I really didn't care because I just became so comfortable in my own presence. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people are not. So you won't find me on Wednesday saying, let's make a plan. What's the plan? So if my wife goes out of town for 2 weeks, she actually tells friends of us, this lunatic will play with the dog, watch a film and go to sleep at 10:30. So make a plan.
And you're saying this epiphany happened 20 years ago?
Yeah, means if there's a plan, I'll go. If there's no plan, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It really doesn't.
There's no dire need to like
None.
you're
I'm very comfortable in my own presence and skin. And I can safely say that, like a while back, I wasn't.
Okay.
And unfortunately, a lot of people are still that way.
Right.
Where there's the pressing need to be in this group and whatever.
So when you say you want to slow down, it's just like when you take a pause, you said, right? So it's
I think
this-
nothing is worth the manic, stressful kind of life that I've, gone through where it's all on edge and it's all like deadline based and whatever. The first thing you have to take care of is your health. The next thing you take care of is your family. And then work. Most of us prioritize the other way around. Okay. At some point, I said, this is the way it's going to be. Because if your health is not okay, nothing else is going to be okay. And as the famous saying goes, you can have 100 problems until you have a health problem. Then you only have one problem, right? So everything else melts into insignificance when you're dealing with something hectic. So first, my health. It is paramount. I eat at 1 o'clock. If you have a meeting with me at 12:30, I will warn you in advance. I will be eating at 1. Would you like me to order some food?
Okay.
If you don't, watch me eat. Okay? But I will eat in the meeting.
Right.
So
So you're saying you're that person now, you were in that person.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. So my health and then whatever it needs for me to, I spend on 2 trainers because it's important. I'll spend on assorted, just simple things like the quality of the salt in my house and the quality of the haldi in my house and where we source our eggs from and whatever. These are now vitally important things to me. Then it's my family.
Right.
If your family atmosphere is a happy one, that's wonderful. And then after that, the work happens.
Anyway, exactly.
हो जाता है.
I agree with you. And I feel like the world's shifting also, like in their narrative, right? Like people are thinking about wellness, what they're eating and all that. Because what a stressful world we live in, yeah? I mean, it's not easy out there.
Not worth it.
Yeah. I feel like that's why I keep saying, thank God when I was 17, 18, we didn't have social media and stuff. It would have been crazy. Like at that point to have that kind of information or to just have those standards of what beauty is, it would have really like messed my mind up or any other person, you know, like that's why I feel so much like anxiety, depression, like hear about so often. So yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. After all that deep questions, I started by saying how I call you Mr. Funny Bones because I truly think you're one of the funniest guys. Every time I worked with you, I mean, the fact that I know that you'll like click great pictures, but I just know it's going to be a fun time with you because you're constantly cracking jokes and I get it. So this round is for that now. Who's more high maintenance, models on set or producers on call?
Producers on call. What does that mean?
Like when producers are working, basically.
Oh, models on set.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you saying this because you're a producer?
We spend Tanuj Garg and I spend the least on us. We have the shittiest van. It may not even be a full van,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
and because that's how we make movies within budgets, by not spending on ourselves.
Makes sense. Okay, what's the most absurd compliment someone's given you lately and like the kind that makes you go like, really?
Okay, this is not lately, but
Okay.
this is a classic. So Rahul Dravid is an old friend of mine. I've shot him many times. And I had a meeting with him at the Shamiana at the Taj. And that morning, in the Bombay Times front page, there was a terrible picture of Rahul. You know, top light, all hooded, not retouched, nothing. It was just ghastly. So I took it with me. I said, yeah, I need to talk to him after this meeting about this picture. So we finished all the official work we had. And then I said, Rahul, I just want to tell you, this picture, I'm just telling you technically what's wrong with it, etc. You know, is there what to do? The magazine, the paper wanted to send somebody to shoot it, so I did it. I said, no, but you need to protect your own image. You do one thing, next time they call, you tell them, I'll get the picture done. Call me, I'll come and shoot it for you, no cost. Okay? I mean, he's a good-looking guy and he's the nicest guy in the world. Okay, right. So it bothered me that he wasn't looking his best. So I said, you call me, I will come and shoot it for free. Okay, do it. Saying, "Arey yaar, that's like asking Sachin to play Kanga League." So that's the nicest compliment I've ever got. Yeah. So and the other one was bizarre. We were shooting for a financial services company with Tendulkar in Australia at the Fox Studios in Sydney.
Okay.
So there was a 3-hour access shift. So they were changing all the lights, and we're right, next to Fox Studio. We're in Fox Studio. So we said we'll go to the store and look at, some music or whatever to buy. So Sachin and me, and there was an Australian bodyguard who was a very vast, big man. 3 of us go there. There's nobody in that store. There's one kid on a listening station. This is the days of compact discs. So he's listening to a CD and he goes, he says, I love Sachin. So, so the Aussie guy, then he comes, and the Australians are very polite. They'll leave celebrities alone. So he comes to Sachin and he says, "Ki, I can't believe it's you, So I shake your hand. No selfies or anything. I think before cell phones were there, and he shakes his hand, etc. And then he turns to me and says, I forgot your name, but I know you're the fast bowler.
Really?
Yeah. So Sachin's like, he's the fast bowler. So I'm like, yeah, I'm the fast bowler, babe. No problem. So I've been mistaken for an India fast bowler and Sachin's teammate, and told that by Dravid what he told me.
I thought you were going to give me something about how people are complimenting you on your looks and all that. That's just usual.
No, why would I don't.
Because you are very like self-obsessed.
No, I'm not. I honestly don't care about my face. Okay, I don't. Okay, I'm just concerned and I'll tell you my attitude towards fitness, and when I say longevity, 20 years from now when I'm 80, I don't want to be asking some young man at in a flight saying,
Can you help
"Excuse me, son, could you help me put my bag in the overhead compartment or get it from the conveyor belt or whatever?" And if I have grandkids and they want to go on a 20,000 step walking day in New York or London or wherever, I want to be able to be game enough to do that. That is my idea of function in fitness. I'm not.
Not for the aesthetic.
No, I'm not an elite athlete. Okay,
Right.
we aren't anymore by any standards. So it's a question of what is it that functionally you are capable of doing. The other day I was with 4-5 people. They were all 40 and up and all younger than I, and my laces were undone. So I just squatted down. Someone said, "Your laces undone." I said, "Oh, okay." So I just sat down in the corridor, means on one knee, and tied my laces. And there were 4 people looking at me saying, "Wow, you can do that." I said, "What does that mean?" He said, "No, bro, we have to sit on a chair and then tie your laces." So a lot of people can't do that, which is an unconscious action. I'm not
Take that for
I'm not
granted.
exactly. I'm not showing off. I'm just saying it was a revelation to me that some things don't become normal anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like them to be as normal as possible for as long as possible.
Nice. Okay. Have you shot someone so famous and yet had to Google them like before you shot them?
I Google everyone before I shoot them just to know little nuances. I think part of being a photographer is you have to be able to wear whatever hat that makes them most comfortable. You'd usually strike up a conversation and you'd have some kind of, nuance about them. Then if I need to be the court jester, I need to be the shoulder to cry on. If I need to be the punching bag, if I need to be just quiet, then whatever hat I need to be.
Right.
But what I like is usually after most of the shoots we've done, people say, "Ho gaya? Oh wow, that was quick." They don't need to see me moving lights.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's done earlier. We've done test shots. We are right there. When the person comes, it's lit and ready. Maybe a little bit of 19-20 and just move that 1 foot to the left, right? It's literally that much of 19-20 that happens.
Right.
And then we've shot. You're paying me to be prepared and make it as painless as possible. And part of it is to give the person a very high comfort zone. We'll research if we get the info about what food they'd like to eat, and there'll be some fresh cut flowers in there.
Yeah, but you're mostly the jester. You're like making everyone laugh, which is nice.
I make people comfortable, then whatever it takes. Are you comfortable?
Yeah. You've built brands, launched faces, produced hits. What's that thing that you're bad at, you suck at?
Finance.
Wow, I wouldn't think you would say that.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's like I can't be the bookkeeper or the accountant or whatever. I actually used to be superb at numbers. I did really well in my pre-engineering entry and stuff. But then just somewhere, just lost the plot on that. So
But I think you handle your money very well. You
that's
made a
on
lot
our
of
wife.
money.
I can take no credit. She gets all the credit. And once in a while, I'll tell her something like, "I heard XYZ stock could do well over a 3-year window."
Okay.
And then I'll discover 3 years later that she did buy that stock. I said, "Oh, we have it." So yeah, you told me. Remember, I researched it and it looked good. And I
That's
asked if you
great teamwork, yeah? Fab.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. If there was a reality show about your life, what would it be called?
Organized chaos.
Nice. Nice. If someone took a candid of you that captured like your real personality, what would you be doing in it?
What would I be doing in it?
Your real personality.
I'd be playing with my poodle Saka.
That's cute actually. Yeah, nice. I like your dog. You love your dog.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. Which of your Instagram caption do you think secretly deserves an award?
I'm thinking of trademarking. So I'm 60 and I own it.
Nice. Nice.
Sing to the tune of.
Yeah. But sometimes your stories are also damn funny.
Thank you.
Really nice. I like it. Have you taken a photo and thought that this is amazing, but there's no way I'm posting it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah, what's your go-to move when someone's being a diva on like a shoot? Ignore or like outcharm them?
No, let them be. Is this somebody I'm shooting?
When you're shooting, if they're being a diva.
My subject.
Yeah, your subject.
Can be whatever he or she wants to be.
Okay, if they're being problematic also, it's okay.
No, it's very rare someone's problematic with me.
Actually, yeah.
Honestly, very rare.
Actually, it's very rare. I think that people would be problematic, don't you think? Like now,
There have been a few instances, but it has nothing to do with you. It is they've had a issue with their contract, let's say, or they weren't happy with some negotiations that happened, or etc. So there's a 36 ka akada happening between two other people, and you're caught in the crossfire.
What is that? Chattis?
36 ka akada.
Okay.
You come to Bombay, you speak Marathi. If you expect me to come to Bangalore and speak Kannada, I'm warning you now.
I'm at least making an effort to learn. Give
This
that-
was Hindi, by the way.
Okay, but Chattis Kakra, okay. Kakra is that Gujarati thing, na?
Never
Na?
mind. I'm sending you a book, Hindi Made Simple.
Okay.
In your case, it'll be in the fiction section. So, Jai Maharashtra. Repeat after me.
Jai Maharashtra.
There you
Yeah. Jai Karnataka, everything.
Also.
Yeah, also. Say it.
Hare, Karnataka ki jai ho.
Yeah, okay.
My roots are from Karwar, by the way.
Actually, yeah.
We speak Konkani at
So
home.
close to like South Indian stuff. Yeah.
So I have...
Kasale and all that is Konkani, right? Kasale, they say. Isn't it? Konkani? Yes.
Kasle, huh?
Kasle, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Maybe I said.
Because in Hindi also it's kasle,
Ha. Okay.
Yes. You're a linguist and you don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. You don't know it. I know it. But yeah, Atul, this was fun.
Are you done?
Yeah.
See, this is the nice thing. Now, it was painless. I didn't realize when we got done.
Yeah, I'll give you credit for that.
Just call my cook and tell them I'll be back for dinner.
But thank you. I've been actually wanting to have you on my podcast. We've been friends for so long now, and I'm just so happy.
Since puberty for you.
Yeah,
Pretty
right.
much.
No, but no, seriously, for such a long time. You've seen me through many phases, so I'm just so excited that you came on my show. You're my 9th guest. I flew to Bombay for you, which is
And you only do this for people with the initials AK.
looks like it. My first podcast, AK in the studio. My 9th one, AK with you.
That's Anurag Kashyap for those who didn't know.
Yes. So thank you. I had so much fun. I'm sure my team also did. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Okay.